NVIDIA, the powerhouse in chips, computing, and AI. Oh my. So let's take a look and do a trade walkthrough. We're going to look at selling a put on NVIDIA. Is it a good trade? Is it not a good trade? How much money do you think you could make? How much risk do you think you'd have? And then we're going to walk through selling a covered call. How does that work? What does that even mean? How much money are we going to make? What's our rate of return? Check it out. I'm going to share my screen. You're going to see step by step using my own Thinkorswim platform. Let's jump right in. All right, so here's our chart of NVIDIA over the past year. So as you can see, kind of chopped around earlier part of the year, and then it's been on this major upswing. Right now it's trading at 185.96, right? So 185 bucks, $186. Let's talk about two strategies. Listen, guys, when you sell options, you only have to be concerned and know two strategies: sell a put, sell a covered call. That's it. This is easy peasy, not rocket science. Anybody can do it. Just watch my videos. Stay until the end because I'm going to walk through both those trades with you step by step. So first of all, let's look at selling a put. What does that mean to sell a put? So easy. What we're doing is we're just committing to buy those shares if it drops below a certain price before a certain date. We choose the stock. In this case, we're going to talk about NVIDIA. We're going to choose the price as well. I'm going to show you how to choose that. And then we're going to choose the time frame. Only three things that we need to know, guys: the stock, the time frame, and the price at which we're comfortable purchasing those shares. So let's take a look at our options chain. So this is what we call an options chain. We have the strikes down the middle, puts are on the right-hand side of the page, and calls are on the left-hand side of the page. First, we're going to talk about the puts. So right now, because the stock is trading at 186 per share, when we sell a put, we want to choose a strike price that's underneath, that's lower than the price the stock is currently trading. Why? Because we only want to buy the stock if it goes on sale. That's why. We're paid a premium that we get to keep no matter what happens for promising to buy that stock if it goes below that price before the expiration date. So let's take a look at the prices that we have to choose from. So we can sell, let's say, a 185 put, right? We can sell a 182.50 put. We can sell a 180 put, a 177.50 put, a 175 put. Now, the lower the price that we go with, if we sell a put that has a lower price, the less money we're going to get paid. Why? Because it's further away from where it's trading. So how do you choose what strike to use, Michelle? How do I do that? Well, it depends on what your comfort level is, right? So for example, let's say that you like NVIDIA and you would not mind buying NVIDIA because you like the company, you know it's a powerhouse, especially in the AI market, and you want to take in a little bit more premium and you're okay buying it at, let's say, a higher price. So, well, in that case, I might sell a 185 put. It's kind of close to where it's trading at now. It's 186. That means it's got to drop below 185 and stay there by the expiration October 10th in order to have to buy those shares. That contract is trading at $233 right now. Let's take a look. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to calculate the premium I take in, $233, divided by how much money am I committing if I had to buy the shares. Well, if we're looking at a 185 put, we're committing $18,500. So we're going to divide the premium by $18,500, and we're going to get a rate of return of a little bit more than 1%, 1.2%. But remember, guys, this is for a Friday contract, and today is Tuesday. So really, we're only going to hold this for 4 days, right? So we're making 1.2% over a 4-day span. So how do I annualize that out? You always want to annualize your rate of return because you want to compare apples to apples when you're looking at which trades you want to take or which trades you want to pass on. So let's calculate that annualized rate of return. Well, how do we do that if it's 4 days? If it was a full week, we could just multiply by 52, and that's kind of easy, but it's just as easy when it's 4 days. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm going to divide by 4 because that gives us a daily rate of return. And then I'm going to multiply by 252 because there's 252 trading days in a year. Now, this gives us an annualized rate of return of over 79%. So here's what this trade means, guys. Worst case scenario, NVIDIA goes down and I have to buy those shares. I'm buying those shares, those 100 shares, at $185. For that commitment, I'm paid the premium, right? So this is changing. The market's open at the moment. So this is always adjusting based on market volatility. Right now it's trading for $242. That's if you put up all the money, the whole 18,500. You can use this magic word called margin if you want. Margin is borrowing some of the money from the bank. Why use all your money if you don't have to? That's my motto. Now, that said, you do have to be careful because you want to make sure that you don't use too much margin. You want to have a little bit of a cushion. I have lots of other videos that talk about margin. You don't want to encounter a margin call, which means that if the stock goes down a lot and you don't have enough money in your account, the broker dealer makes you break your trade and then you take a loss. So you don't want that to happen. So if you're using margin, check out some of my other videos, but let's take a look and see what the margin requirement would be on this particular trade. Now, the easiest way to calculate that is that you want to click on the bid and it brings up this order entry box, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to analyze the trade. And that brings up this box down below, and that shows us what the margin would be. So the margin on this contract would be just about $3,900, $3,894. That means that we put up the first 3,900 and then the bank floats us the rest. So let's calculate the rate of return based on the capital that we have to put up if we're using margin. I'll show you how to do that. So the premium that we're getting paid right now it's $249. So it's a little bit higher than what we looked at a moment ago. So we're going to divide 249 by the capital required to make that trade, which in this case is $3,900. And that gives us a rate of return of, oh my gosh, I'm going to fall off my chair if I was sitting, a little bit more than 6%. But remember, just like a moment ago, we're only holding this trade for 4 days. So we want to calculate our annualized rate of return. So to do that, we're going to divide by 4 to get our daily return. And then we're going to multiply by 252 trading days per year. And that gives us, I'm going to try to say this without laughing. That gives us a rate of return of a little bit over 402%. What that means, guys, is if we're not putting up all the money and we're using some of the bank's money, and again, there's going to be risk involved with margin, we only put up 3,900 and we're making 200, in my case, a moment ago, is $249 in premium. So you divide the premium by the capital that you're putting up. And if you annualize it, you're flipping your money 4 times around. Enough said on that. So that's selling a put. Now let's talk about selling a call. What does that mean when you sell a call? Well, the great thing about selling a call, anytime you sell a call, you're going to use a strike price that's over what you paid for the shares. Why? Listen, guys, you never want to lose money when it comes to trading. And you don't lose money unless you sell your stock for less than what you paid. So don't do that. If you buy the shares, let's say at 186 right now, let's say you don't have any NVIDIA and you say, oh my gosh, I think that's a pretty good company. Let me buy 100 shares. You can buy 100 shares right now, and then you can sell a call against it right away. So if you pay $185.81 per share, you want to sell a call that has a strike price of at least $187.50. Now, when I sell calls, what I do, and you could do whatever makes you comfortable, but here's the way I do it. I sell a call that's right over my basis. So if I'm paying $185.83 for the shares, I'm going to sell a $187.50 call. The reason I do that is because I don't really care so much about the stock price appreciation. I want as much premium in my pocket as possible. I have stuff that I want to do and cool stuff I want to pay for, and trading sustains my lifestyle. So that's why I choose the strike price that's right over what I paid for, because it gives you the most amount of premium. In fact, this particular contract, this $187.50 contract, last traded at $212. So here's what that means, guys. I can buy 100 shares, or I can wait after I sell a put. Maybe I get assigned on that put and then I have to buy the shares. There's lots of different ways that you can kind of make this happen. It's very flexible. But let's say I make $212 in premium on that covered call, and I'm paying $185.84 per share. So we're going to say I pay $186. I'm just going to round it off, and I'm going to put up $18,600, right, for those 100 shares. And again, this is my rate of return, but only for 4 days. So I'm going to divide by 4. I'm going to multiply by 252, and I'm making 71% on my money. That's if I put up all the money and I don't even use any bank money. This is the most conservative strategy that you can do. This is saying, okay, I already own these 100 shares of this great company. I'm going to commit to sell the shares if it goes higher. If the price doesn't exceed 187.50, I don't sell my shares. I keep them. Either way, I keep the premium. And if I keep the shares, I just sell another call next week. This is what I mean by just focusing on just a handful of tickers, and you keep flipping them over and over and over again. Sell puts against them, sell covered calls against them, and just create this systematic, steady stream of revenue, of income for yourself on a weekly basis. Now, just like before with the put, I'm going to show you how cool it is if you don't want to put up all the money. Maybe you want to put up some of the money and you want to use the bank money. Why use all your money if you don't have to, right? So here's how I'm going to check that. I'm going to click on to buy 100 shares of stock. It's going to pull up this order entry window. I'm going to analyze the trade, and that gives us what the margin requirement is. So if I'm buying 100 shares of NVIDIA right now, the margin required is about 55.73. So we're going to say 5,600. We're just going to round that off. And just like before, we were making $212 in premium. And if we're only putting up 5,600, right, not the whole amount because we're using some of the bank money, that gives us a rate of return that's a bit higher, right? Because we're not putting up as much money, right? Not as much capital. So that gives us this as a rate of return. Then I'm going to divide by 4 because there's only 4 trading days. Today's Tuesday, right? Now I'm going to multiply by 252, and that gives us an annualized rate of return of 238%. What do you guys think? What do you guys think in NVIDIA? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Why do you like it? Do you trade it? Do you trade AMD instead? Do you like some other stocks? Tell me if this video is helpful. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'm putting up a video each and every day. I walk through different tickers just like this. Somebody asked me to do a video on NVIDIA. If you want to check out one of my upcoming live events, join my inner circle. That way, you'll be one of the first to know when new events get launched or new trading tools get dropped, that kind of thing. And I'll also be sending out some trading tips via email as well. Anyway, I hope this video helps. Cheers for now.